Welcome back, everyone. Here we are, day 5 of Spooky Month. Yes, I know it's the 7th. We take weekends off here, remember? For today, I decided to do some knitting and a tiny bit of crochet too. I have these pillows I got from Home Goods a while ago, and the covers gave me some ideas. Since it's got that tightly woven sweater look to it, I had the idea to make a pumpkin that went with them. At first I was going to crochet the whole thing, but it didn't have the same knit as the pillows, so I had to learn how to knit on the fly. I have tried to learn how to knit before, several years ago, but I've been crocheting since I was like 11, so I was not equipped to learn it. It took over 13 years, but here I am. I'll link the video that I used to learn down in the description. So for the yarn, I used this from Joann's, which was supposed to be for another project that I'm procrastinating, and I literally picked these needles out of the clearance aisle. The yarn recommends a US 5, but I used a US 9. This isn't really going to be a tutorial. You'll see the steps I used, but I don't really know how to explain half the things that I'm doing. Let me tell you, I found out the hard way that knitting is a lot more tiring on my hands than crochet is. I had to keep stretching my wrist, and I took a lot of breaks. Meaning this took about 2 weeks to finish just the panels. Eventually, when my hand got way too weak to keep going, I took a break to play a little Animal Crossing. After that, I grabbed a snack and kept going. Panels are not going to be the same length. I just tried to get them to the approximate length and then casted the yarn off. So I did this over and over and over again until I had 10 panels in total. This is what they should have looked like. But of course, I had a couple panels that had some flaws. I'm not exactly sure what I did here. I think they're called twisted stitches or something like that. I used that yarn to sew the edges together, just a simple whip stitch. You'll see me pause several times because I was binging the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Let me know your opinion on slasher films and horror movies in general. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to watch some movies, especially horror movies. I didn't watch any horror movies until I was like 18. My first one was Hellfest in theaters, and I just thought it was really goofy. Slasher films are my favorite type of horror. Gore doesn't really bother me all that much. It's aliens and paranormal things that get to me. The movie Nope. Yeah, that was a f***ing nightmare. Anyways, after I stitched the panels together, I used a running stitch along the edges of the panels that were even, so I could close it up as the bottom. At this point, it was giving orange tulip hat. If you can guess where that's from. If you guessed Animal Crossing, you are correct. This is where the crocheting comes into the picture. I expected the closures to still be open slightly since the panels weren't tapered at the ends, so I made it look like the bottom of the end of a pumpkin where the flower comes off after it starts maturing on the vine. I looped into whatever I could and kept going around and around until I was satisfied with it. Of course, after I finished that part, it was time for yet another Animal Crossing break. I have a problem. Moving on to the stem of the pumpkin, I used brown yarn that is also supposed to be being used for another project. I did the same thing, a running stitch around the edge and closing it up a bit. I used some stuffing from an old Papasan cushion, and I breathed in way too much of this stuff. This stuff got everywhere. I swear it will be in my lungs and my black shag carpet for eternity. After taking a lint roller to it, I tied off the brown yarn and did the same thing as I did for the bottom of the pumpkin. Once that was closed up, I went in again to build up a bit of a stem. Just a little nubbin. I finally tied that off and it was finished. I'm so happy with the way it turned out. It's so cute. I hope you enjoyed watching me make this little pumpkin. Maybe I'll make more someday.
Don't do it.
Yeah, maybe not. Anyways, like and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss an upload. Thanks for watching and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!